Yeah, I've been talking about a single mom who received a foreclosure notice actually happened. And what she found out was it's not so easy to get in touch with someone who can make decisions on stopping the foreclosure. So she was able to, on her own, make contact with the entity that sent her the notice. So it wasn't the actual lender who did, but they had hired a company that specializes in, well, being henchmen that actually carry out the notice provision, appear at the foreclosure, and do the follow-up work. So through that company, she eventually got through to the right person by her perseverance, and that saved her house. Getting a response from those companies or the actual lender who may be handling the foreclosure can be challenging. Sometimes you'll get no response at all, and sometimes you'll get vague responses that don't resolve the problem. In any event, if nothing else, please take from this video the message that acting quickly is the most important thing. If you wait and think, oh, maybe they'll send me a letter changing their mind, or I might just come into a bunch of money and pay them off, it just leads to a bigger problem when it gets closer to the foreclosure date. So I told you about the mom who was able to get through and able to make payment arrangements. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. Sometimes you can't get through and you have to take matters into your own hand. Again, by focusing on addressing the situation early, you may have the option of selling the house, either to someone you know, a realtor, an investor. You may have that option to raise enough money to pay off what you owe and have some additional equity in your pocket. The most difficult case is when you haven't been able to sell the house or make arrangements and that date is closing. You may have to consult an attorney who would present a petition to the court for an order to try to put off the foreclosure. That's a last-ditch effort measure, but one that may need to be done. I've also witnessed situations where that's done. Again, early planning will help with that process if it comes to it, to have enough time to prepare the right documentation to present to try to get your restraining order. But even if you do get the date put off, the issue's still out there. The lender is probably going to repost for foreclosure, but you've given yourself some time to look into these other options. Maybe go at it a different way. Instead of just contacting the company who's handling the foreclosure, contact the lender itself and just say, hey, these folks aren't answering the phone. They're not responding to my inquiries. I need to get somebody's attention. And being persistent is the best way to get that attention. So in wrapping up, the most important thing I can say is after getting over the feeling of dread when they notice a foreclosure, notice of intent to foreclose is received, quick action is going to be the best remedy and should get you the best result.